This week, we'll be talking about communicating with your healthcare provider. It is very important to be able to communicate with your healthcare provider as they want to give you information so you can be an active participant in your healthcare. Sometimes it can seem like there isn't an opportunity to ask questions when your healthcare provider is with you for a short time. You should feel comfortable to ask them questions you may have. This may mean that you have to interrupt politely when you don't understand what was said. Other times, you may need to have something repeated, and the best time is to ask right away before they have moved on from what you needed to have repeated. Usually, your provider will ask if you have any questions at the end of the appointment. This is also a good time as they have given you information and you can ask any questions about it. You can also ask questions when the provider begins to provide care instead of saving them for the end of the appointment. If your healthcare office offers an online patient portal for you to access your medical information at home, most offer an option to ask questions to your provider. They may not respond right away, but if it is not urgent, you will most likely get an answer back within a few days. When we ask questions is almost as important as how we ask questions. It can be difficult for us to admit when we don't understand something, but it helps us to be active in our healthcare decisions. A good way to phrase it is to point out exactly what you don't understand, a specific word they used or direction they gave, and ask them to repeat it in a different way. Another way to ask a question is how something might affect something else. For example, if you are starting a new medication, how might that medication affect your other medications? Or how might it affect your daily energy? If your provider suggests a procedure or test, you can ask them to explain the test or procedure. This way you can know what to expect. Another good question is to ask what they are looking for in that test or procedure. Are they looking for a large number of white blood cells? Are they looking for cancerous cells? With any testing, you should ask when you should know the results. Your healthcare provider's office may call you or put the results on the patient portal for you to check at home, or they may have you come into the office to talk about the results together. If you want to make sure you understand directions or anything else your provider says, repeat it back to them in the way you understand it. For example, if your provider says to take a medication twice daily, you can say back to them, "I should take this medicine once in the morning and once at night." They will either confirm what you understand or explain it in a different way. There are a few ways to remember the questions you want to ask your healthcare provider before your appointment. Writing them down on a piece of paper or the notes section of your phone can be an easy way to remember your questions and a place to write down the answer. Bringing a family member or friend to your appointment to remind you to ask questions, and they can help you remember any new information your provider gave you. Sometimes it can be a lot of information to remember, and having another person can help fill in the parts you may have forgotten. Don't be afraid to write down what your provider says. This can help you remember what they said, and you can mark if you have a question about something so they can go back and explain it. Some other helpful tips when going to your healthcare provider. If you have been feeling sick or having different or increased symptoms of a condition, writing down a timeline can help. A simple example is provided on the screen for you. It is also best to include dates if it is over a longer period of time. You can also make a list of topics you want to talk about to your provider, such as a new medication or a new routine. These tips and asking questions can help you be more active in your healthcare. Please remember, if you have any questions, to leave them in the comments of this video. Thank you.